Now, we purposely ordered this Jeep as kind of base as you could get it, and that's because we rip everything off regardless. If you guys recall, I actually installed a set of the Elite Max headlights into my Jeep, and to be honest, I felt a little guilty removing the Mopar LED headlights until I saw how customizable and how nice these headlights were. They were an absolutely awesome upgrade to my 2022 Wrangler, and for Ryan's with the halogen headlights, they are going to be a night and day upgrade. And then to top that off, Diode Dynamics owns Form Lighting, so they are one and the same company. They're two different brands, and these are a little bit more customizable. They do mimic the look of the factory taillight, but they give you a lot more brightness. They're plug and play, and they're DOT approved. The biggest question I get is, why didn't you go from LED from the factory? Are you saving a ton of money by doing these two that we have laid out? Between the two that we have laying out on the hood here, you're looking at about $1,400 retail. To buy the LED package, you're talking $1,895, I believe, $1,895. You get LED headlights, LED taillights, fog lights, and then the LED turn signals. So you do get a little bit more for the $1,895, and I would say that this price is pretty comparable. The big thing for us is there's so much more customization, and overall I feel like it gives you a little bit more options to build your Jeep. Without further ado, it is getting a little bit late here at night. Let's start with these headlights and then go ahead and install the taillights onto Ryan's Jeep. Are you looking to upgrade your current Jeep vehicle? Maybe turn it from stock to more badass like this one here? You're gonna wanna check out our Dirt Road CRED Upfitter affiliate program. Whether you're looking to have a lift kit installed, wheels and tires, or heck, even an AMW full V8 conversion, whether you don't have the time, the tools, or really the knowledge to tackle a project that's out of your expertise, we're gonna be able to connect you with a shop that is in your home state, and they're recommended from viewers on this channel. All you have to do is go on our website, fill in your information on our Upfitter affiliate program tab, and you'll get connected right to a shop. Let's unbox these two. I gotta say, I've had mine for a year, and I'm really pleased with them. Diode Dynamics and all their parts there are just fantastic. I know I sound like a fanboy, but I've run every other brand of lights. So that's the one thing you gotta understand with this channel. Ryan and I have been in the industry for so long that we've run pretty much everything, you know? So here we go. First thing that I like is all the OE style harnesses. So we've got the braiding here, we've got the OE style plugs. Everything is perfectly wired in here. The anti-flicker module in there, everything ready to go. So our harnesses are super clean, and the availability to run this to a toggle switch on the interior is super easy. I don't think, Ryan, I didn't even tell you this yet, I don't think we're going to run the toggle switch for those off-road lights, just because we have some future plans to put in some auxiliary switches into your Jeep, and I don't want to drill a hole. I mean, Diode Dynamics literally thinks of everything, so they include both harnesses in here, so I can just kind of show you. There are switches. Let's just open this up right away. That's a headlight, and then the cool thing, so here's a switch, right? So if you guys don't have the auxiliary switches, you can just simply use this harness for the off-road lighting, and it comes with everything, your fuse, your trigger wire, and all that. If you have the Mopar, the factory auxiliary switches, this comes with a harness for that as well. So basically you would just change out this plug at the end here, and this is going to convert it. So we're not going to go too far into that today. We're just going to set these harnesses aside and utilize them when we need them. But the other nice thing is we also get the adjuster for the headlights. So we can adjust these headlights with the fancy adjuster that they give us. Now these are packaged in that spray-in foam in the bag as to not create any issues, but there you go, Rhino.
Sick.
Dude, those look so good. I love unboxing these because they're like so beefy. Like the full drivers down here with the heat sinks, Elite Series, assembled in the USA. There's your adjusters on the back here, factory plugs, up and down. You can adjust these, and these are the Elite Maxes. Just look at these. Let's do a little ASMR. Pull one of these off. Check that out. It just looks so good. It's a lot brighter than the factory LEDs too. That's why I'm so happy with mine. I sold my factory LED headlights actually to one of our Patreon members for a great price, Laura, all the way out in California. But these are just awesome, guys. So they're really nicely made. I gotta just say, I'm very happy with these. And for a long time, the JL really struggled with an aftermarket because the JK used a 7-inch headlight and the TJ. So you had from 1997 to 2018 of using 7-inch headlights, and then they went to a 9-inch like this. So you really had to redesign one, and Diode Dynamics knocked it out of the park. I also do want to tell you, if you guys want to see like a full, really detailed installation, you can check out the video that we did on mine. That's a deeper installation onto this. Today's just going to be some tips and tricks and getting them installed into Ryan's Jeep, and we'll see if the 2024 is any different. I don't anticipate it to be, but heck, you never know. Put Loctite on these. Ask me why. I don't know. Yeah, for headlights. one headlight, yeet. Yeeted, absolutely yeeted. That's really it. All right, guys, before we show kind of how we put on the passenger side, let's just show you before and after with a little fire up here. Just a little bit better. What do you think, guys?
100%.
Full DRL that Ryan can completely adjust. And then let's show what the turn signal looks like on this side, because that's really one of the coolest features about this. So now we got functional turn signals in case Ryan decides to ever do a fender chop. It looks so clean. It kind of stinks you don't have a fob for this Jeep because it has a really neat, unique startup sequence. But yeah, that looks sick. And you can actually change which ones flash. Like you can do just the outer ring, just the inner ring. We actually go through that process on the full length video. I'm not gonna do it right now tonight. And Diode has a full walkthrough, but this is the way I have mine set up too. Full white and then full amber when you go to the turn signal. All right guys, so Ryan did kind of work in through there to get the passenger side one on. What you're gonna do on this to tap into the turn signals, on the passenger side it's a little bit tricky because you have to pull away the inner fender liner and reach up there and get this to tap in. Run it up through to the front of the vehicle, and then now these do have the anti-flicker. So if you do have the halogens, they're not going to flicker at all. So what you're going to do with this harness here, there's three main connections. This one here is going to go into the factory headlight connection like so. You'll hear it click. This one here, the Deutsch connector, is going to be used for those off-road lights that we do not have the switches yet for, so we're just going to set that one aside. And then this last connection right here is going to be for the brand new Diode Dynamics headlight. Once you get those turn signal T's in, really the rest is cake. What do you say, Ryan? That's the longest part, and it's just because it's so awkward. If you have a lift or something you can put your vehicle on, or if you have removable inner fenders, which would be awesome, you could just reach right up in there. But once you do have it, the functionality aspect, it's so much worth it. I mean, it's worth the 10 minutes to do it. So that being said, let's go ahead and grab our right hand or our passenger side, plug it in, get it bolted up, get this grill back on so we can see what the front of this Jeep looks like. One step. Click that down. We're just going to tuck this right back into its swamp. Or maybe not. What do we get to? So one thing we did run into, the back of the connector was touching the airbox just a little bit. We gave it a little bit more clearance by unbolting this 10 mil, pushing the airbox back, and then tightening everything up, but it's all working now. So all we need to do is put our grill back on and show you the final result for the headlights. Well guys, I gotta be honest with you, the installation for the headlights is really, really easy. I would say the most difficult part is tapping into the turn signal wiring, and that's just due to its location and the fact that we have kept the flares on. If you pop your flares off, I might even suggest doing this headlight while you're doing maybe a fender flare upgrade. But overall, headlights are extremely simple to install. And the nice thing about this, so since we had halogens, we did not have any halo ring around his headlights. We didn't have any of the features that came with this. So basically, you're going to get a full projector headlight in the center with high and low cutoff beams. The driver down below has all the fins there. They're even larger than stock, so they're capable of producing a ton of heat and a super crisp cutoff line. The other thing with that DRL around the outside, that also turns into a turn signal, as well as that center section in there. So with the customization of these, we can actually enable those or disable them and really get them down and kind of figure out exactly how Ryan wants his setup. But these look so much better than the halogen lights. And honestly, I said to Ryan off camera, it makes these look so good, but then the rest of this stuff really has to get going. But that's why we have a stack of parts in our garage, because all of the rest will be going. All right, guys, so we're at the back end of Ryan's Jeep, and we've got a set of the Form taillights. Now, he did decide to go with one specific color, and I'm going to pull it out after to kind of give you guys some suspense. But in reality, we got to remove these halogen taillights because, let's be honest, this is a very dated design. This looks like the CJ, YJ trailer taillights back there. And honestly, some people love them, some people hate them, but I think they've got to go. I mean, I got to be honest, this is a big upgrade. And Ryan's Jeep with the anvil color does look really nice with either the white accent or a black accent on there. So we're going to do a nice set of these taillights. And honestly, we're not going to mention this in this video, but we do have a really nice merch sponsor that just sent us a ton of cool products. And hopefully you'll be seeing that soon in one of our next videos. Ryan's already got a couple items in the back here. Let's open these up. For the first time, Ryan already opened them. It's like a kid in a candy store with his Jeep parts. I mean, he can't blame you. ASMR. Oh, dude. Those look good. So Ryan went with the smoke because the name of his Jeep is smoky blue DRC. So these are, you see the nice form on there. They already have the fully integrated drivers on the inside. A really sick border here, which I think has a really nice startup sequence. DOT SAE on there. Very, very nice. I believe, now Diode can correct me if I'm wrong, but these do look to be blind spot monitoring compatible. So it looks like you can pull that off and throw your blind spot monitoring in. One big thing I love, Ryan, and this might not sound like a big deal, you know all the taillights we've replaced, we had to put this back on from the OE one? This comes with it. So we don't need to swap it over. You can keep your full LEDs, you can keep your halogens. You don't need to rip everything over, screw it back in, crack the plastic. It already has it on here. That's the next step, and that's why we work with Diode. So these are just literally going to be a plug and play. This is the left-hand side here. So let's pop out the left-hand side and replace it with this beautiful smoked out form tail light. So on the 2024, it does change it up a little bit on the back access panel. You can kind of put your finger in here, but on top of that, you want to just get a trim removal tool and pry off a little bit. But this is a lot different than the other one we're used to. That's just the small little panel. So now on the inside here, you can either use a 10mm socket or a T40 Torx bit. And it looks like it's still going to be the same. Yeah, so T40 Torx bit, this is a plastic set screw in here. Just be mindful, just keep an eye on the outside to make sure it just doesn't drop and fall. But yeah, let's just get that pulled up. We will be reusing the factory screw with the spring on it, so we're going to set that down. So with that screw removed, you can go ahead and pull the taillight out. Now this one got a little water already in there. So, and then all you need to do is, we're still going to use that trim panel removal tool just to pull this piece off of it. Just the push pin here. You can honestly probably use a screwdriver as well, but we've already got the trim panel removal tool, so we might as well use that. And then we can pull the red locking tab away, push down on the center of it, and there you go. Taillight removed. Throw it right in the trash. We're going to go ahead and grab our left-hand side tail light here and flip it over, and on the back you've got two connectors. This one over here is going to be for your blind spot monitoring, the smaller one, and then this one is going to be the main one here. So this is really all we need. Maybe with distinction applied and Taser going up in the future, we can maybe add on some blind spot monitoring on Orion's Jeep, but for now, let's just tuck that back in there. So what we're going to do here is just simply, I mean, really simply, this is about all it takes. Here's a click, push the red locking tab down. That's about it, Ryan.
And you're done.
And you're done. That's it. So now all you have to do is reinstall that screw on the inside and put the panel back on. See if the running light works. How does it look? How does it look?
That looks sick.
Oh, that's the fire up sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's see what the turn signals look like. What color is that? Is that red too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are nice and bright. All right, guys, so it kind of looks like three-dimensional almost with the turn signal. I mean, even just that center section looks great. Taillights. Brian, I'm going to put it in reverse so you can see it. How bright is that? Take a look at with the stock next to it. So let's kind of compare these two. Let's check out reverse first, which I can't see back there. I'll have to watch it in the video afterwards, but I'm sure Ryan can attest the reverse is probably so much brighter. I'm gonna put it back into park, and what I'm gonna do is just put the four ways on just so I can kind of see. I'm gonna go back and check out what that looks like. Yeah, just a little bit brighter. Yeah, that looks so much better. So one weird little quirk here, as Doug DeMuro would say, quirky. The passenger side has the standard one that you've seen on all the rest of the gels, so it's really just the driver's side. And the reason being is I saw them, they were tucking the hardtop wiring in the back of that. But passenger side, still the same old little one that you can just pop out with the trim removal tool. That's it for that one. Let's swap it out and check out the final results. So kind of convenient, my Jeep's parked right here. You can see the stock LED compared to the Form LED. I gotta say they both look fantastic, but the Form looks really, really nice on the back of this Anvil Jeep. Kind of neat to see both of them side by side. With the Form, you do get some more choices. You can do clear, smoked, or just the standard red like this. It's a great option for you halogen guys, but if you have LEDs with even blind spot monitoring, it's gonna all work. On today's viewer rig of the video, we are checking out Rachel and Lou's 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave, affectionately named Zombie. Now that's a great name for it because it is in the gecko green. That's Ryan's heartthrob color right there, and I gotta say, in the Mojave color, it looks absolutely awesome. Now the cool thing with this, I'm not gonna try and go over everything on it, and that's because they didn't send me all the specs, because they've got a full video on it. So we're gonna tag a link down below in the description. Maybe Orion will grab some shots, but it does see the adventure rack on the back, looks like a set of 37s, and really a lot of nice products on there. Really cool Jeep, and thank you so much Rachel and Lou for submitting. If you guys want to have a chance at your Jeep being featured, be sure to hit us up through Instagram or send us an email. Well guys, that is going to be a wrap on this video. You obviously saw we installed a brand new set of headlights on Ryan's Jeep and a set of the smoked taillights as well. It really changed the entire look of this vehicle, and dare I say made it look a million times better. Removing a lot of that red, I didn't realize how much it changed. It drastically changed the back end, and honestly made me think about maybe removing my factory red taillights just so I can kind of keep the color scheme all going. That really did change it up, and it looks great on the back end. A ton more features, that cool startup sequence, and a lot safer on the back end. Really illuminates the back, and then it moves on to the front where we've really changed it up with a set of the Elite Max headlights. These look fantastic. They're going to work really great. I personally run them on my Jeep for the past year, and I absolutely love their performance. Now the cool thing with these too is that they have the DRL, the customization, as well as that full off-road light, which we haven't installed yet, but we're going to wire that up when we put the switch system into this Jeep. Now if you guys want to check out either the headlights or the taillights for your vehicle, be sure to click the links in the description and give a shout out to our friends over at Diode Dynamics for hooking us up with a front and rear taillights on this vehicle. Now until next time though, my name is Matt with Dirt Road CRED, and I want you to get out there and earn yours.